Welcome to another systems edition of NCIX Tech Tips. We have another special, limited time only, 1 week availability system. This is the 17th anniversary system. It is $1299.99 and it is freaking sweet. Clink, clink. Now, I normally start with the outside of the system, but today we're going to mix things up a little bit and we're going to start with the swag, which is short for swagger in this case. It comes with Metro Last Light, it comes with Borderlands 2, it comes with Mafia 2, it comes with an Intel Skull beanie, it comes with an NCIX lanyard, it comes with an MSI door hanger that either says you're not here or sorry I'm busy gaming, because those are the only two options that are available. It comes with an Intel mouse pad, which says unlock the power within. It's a nice big one, nice cloth mouse pad with a good non-slip backing. And last but not least, you can get great deals on Mad Catz peripherals with the purchase of any NCIX PC, but all that other sweet stuff comes specifically with the 17th Anniversary Edition system. So it's the 17th anniversary system, but it also has the nickname Akimbo, which will be more apparent once we get inside the system, but we're going to start with the outside. On the front, you've got two 5¼ bays, neither of which are populated with an optical drive at this time because most people have stopped using them. At the front, you've got lots of mesh for air and ventilation and all of those good things because this is the Fractal Design ArcMidi R2. This is revision 2, which is basically like revision 1, except it looks a little bit nicer and performs a little bit better, and it's got some more features. Also on the front, you can see I've added this. This is the MSI Gaming G-Series badge that's going to come with your system. You can put it wherever you want. I just put it there because I think it looks awesome. On the top of the case, you find your I/O, which includes a recessed reset button so you won't accidentally hit it, a microphone and headphone ports, a power button including an indicator LED, two USB 3.0 ports, and integrated fan control. This is an improvement over the original ArcMidi, and it has 5, 7, and 12 volt settings. On the right side, you find an empty side panel, and on the left side, you find a windowed side panel where we get our first hint as to why this is called the Akimbo, because there are two GTX 650 Ti boost graphics cards inside by EVGA, and there's a sweet window that you can sort of look at them through if you so desire. Once we move around to the back of the case, we find, here we go, based on MSI's Gaming Series G45 motherboard, 4 USB 2.0 ports, a PS2 keyboard mouse combo port, a clear CMOS button, optical and coaxial digital audio out, HDMI, 2 USB 3.0 ports, gigabit Ethernet powered by Killer, VGA port, a DVI port, 7.1 audio out, and then a wide variety of different display outs here on the back because remember guys, GeForce cards up to a certain point support 3+1 displays. So that means you can run 3 in surround and 1 auxiliary display off of a single setup just like this. So it's time for a little bit of exploratory surgery. We're going to open this baby up. You can see the side panel is very solid, has a smoked glass window, giving it a very dark and mysterious look. But of course, with BitPhoenix Alchemy LED strips, you still get a nice red glow, particularly to the graphics cards here. Now, the ArcMidi R2 is a pretty unique case. Much like the Define series and Arc series before it, it supports up to 8 3.5-inch or 2.5-inch drives here in the front. What NCIX has done with the Akimbo is they have taken this cage and they have actually rotated it this way. This allows the fan at the front, which is a 140mm cooling fan, to blow air directly towards the graphics cards rather than be obstructed by the hard drives. Now the reason, or even by the tray and even by the support structure. Now the reason that you even have the option to mount it this way is if you do decide to fill it with drives, sometimes it can look nicer for cable management to have those wires at the back. But it's totally up to you. You can even swap it yourself once the system arrives, should you have that desire. Now for storage, because these top 5 have been rotated and you want nice fresh airflow going onto those graphics cards, NCIX has mounted the drives in the bottom. So there's a 120 gig Samsung 840 as well as a 1 terabyte Seagate Barracuda drive for your mass storage. Now hardware spec wise, for the system itself, we've got a 3570K cooled by an H40 and push-pull. There's a Bitphoenix Spectre fan pushing air through the rad, and then the stock fan included pulling air from the rad, so that means you get to see the cool side of it, but you don't have to see the not as cool side of it. It's on a Z77A G45 Gaming, which is a red and black themed board, very similar to MSI's non-gaming boards, except you get that killer networking as well as a creative licensed audio solution, and there are 1000 Hz ultra polling optimized USB ports. It's got a 3570K in there, and with the water cooling and Z77 board, it can be fully overclocked once the system arrives to you, and there's 8 gigs of Patriot Viper series memory, which 8 gigs is lots for gaming, but if you wanted to use it for content creation or anything else, it's a very high-end system, so you might want to consider adding a little bit more RAM to it. Which brings us to the graphics cards. 2 GeForce GTX 650 Ti boosts from EVGA. That's where the Akimbo name comes from, and that is where the performance comes from. These are very close to upper tier cards like the 670 and 680 in terms of performance, as long as the game is reasonably SLI optimized, and they only require a single PCI Express power connector each, making them very, very easy on the electricity bill. It also looks really cool having dual graphics cards, which, I don't know, if you're anything like me, you might actually care about. And last but not least, you've got Fractal Design's 650-watt Integra power supply running the whole thing. It's not a modular power supply, but you can see from the cable management inside here that as long as you have a nice high-quality case with good cable management options, that doesn't necessarily have to mean that you have an ugly system. So what would I change about this system? Well, with the dual Akimbo graphics cards, you've got pretty much GTX 670, 680 level performance, with depending on the game, of course. With the 3570K, you've got lots of CPU performance. You got a Z77 board, you overclock that thing, get a lot of more performance, you know, water cooling, all these good things. I guess if I was going to change anything, if I was going to use the system for content creation, I might throw in some more RAM, maybe upgrade to 16 gigs or even 32 gigs of RAM and an i7 so you get that hyper-threading benefit. I might upgrade the hard drive for more storage because it's got a 1 terabyte in there now, and a 3 terabyte doesn't cost 3 times as much as a 1 terabyte, so that might be a good value. But other than that, there's not too much to change about this system. And at the price point that it's coming in at, I know if you guys compare on, you know, PC Parts Picker or wherever else, you are going to discover that it is a phenomenally good value to celebrate the 17th anniversary of NCIX.com. So there you go, guys. What system do you buy if you've got a little over $1,000 to spend? This one right here. Thanks for checking out this episode of NCIX Tech Tips on the NCIXPC Akimbo. And don't forget, it's only available for a week. See you again next time.